Never has a dead man released more new albums than Tupac Shakur. This week marks the release of another posthumous street album from the artist formerly known as Tupac with a Pulse. Picture My Pain, a UK import, contains 18 as-yet unreleased tracks, bearing such Sesame Street-worthy titles as Thug's Wrath and Fuck All Y'all. Named for a Peruvian revolutionary, Tupac came from a criminal and activist family. His mother was a Black Panther, and several of his relatives were incarcerated or killed for their criminal involvements. These included, but weren't limited to, killing a schoolteacher, killing a state trooper, aiding and abetting an escape from prison, and appearing on FBI's 10 Most Wanted list. Suffice it to say, growing up, Tupac was the best rapper at his school, mainly because all the other kids were dead. Even as he garnered attention as a rapper and actor, Shakur gained notoriety for his conflicts with the law. In 1991, he filed a $10 million lawsuit against the Oakland Police Department, alleging they brutally beat him for jaywalking. I was brutally beaten for jaywalking once, too, when I jaywalked while simultaneously discharging a semi-automatic weapon. Sometime later, he exchanged bullets with a cop and finally went to prison after being accused of sodomizing a woman. Now, while LaQuasia Dupree had consented to prior sexual encounters with Tupac, she wanted cash money if she was going to take it in the stank. I guess Tupac never paid up. The day before the verdict in his sexual abuse trial was to be announced, Shakur was shot 5 times and robbed. So maybe LaQuasia Dupree got her cash money after all. After his release from prison, when the warden mysteriously vanished, Tupac continued to release songs with death row records, like The Streets Are Death Row and Last Words, which are badass, you see, because all the S's are Z's. Let's take an example. Dr. Marissa Biaggi. Sounds pleasant enough. Now try Dr. Marissa Biaggi. Suddenly your rims are gone. After all this, in 1996, Tupac was somewhat unsurprisingly shot in a drive-by shooting and died several days later. His body was cremated, and some of his ashes were mixed with pot and smoked by members of the group Outlaws. When asked to comment on how it felt to smoke human remains, Outlaws became paranoid and started gnawing on Biggie Smalls. Those must have been some serious munchies. Shakur has proven to be as profitable with regard to intellectual currency as well. In fact, Harvard University sponsored an entire academic symposium about Tupac as a modern folk hero. One professor gave a talk entitled Thug N-Word Intellectual, Tupac as Celebrity Gramscian. Gramscian, in this case, means the person using the word Gramscian is a pretentious ass. I don't even know what that means, and I have a PhD. Approximately 13 people heard the talk, and they were all upper middle class and white. Well, maybe they were who Tupac had in mind when he released Fuck All Y'alls from Beyond the Grave. This is Dr. Biaggi telling you never to jaywalk and to turn it up.